Hey guys, it's Carter. Welcome back to the channel. Now in today's video, we are going to be chatting about the one, the only Snowflake. Snowflake stock has sold off about 19% today. So we're going to be looking at what's going on and answering that main question of, is now the best time to invest in it? So I hope you guys all enjoy it. If you guys do, hit that like button and subscribe. Also guys, we have very, very exciting news. We have a brand new swing trading school where we talk about my strategies, my mindset, how I've been a full-time trader for over 6 years. There's live streams, quizzes, lectures, group chats. It's absolutely fantastic. And you guys can use code YouTube to get 20% off. YouTube with all caps. Check it out. I'll see you in there. But let's dive into this here. So what is Snowflake before we get started? So Snowflake is a software, it's a data as well as cloud computing company. Now, what we've seen over the past couple of years is a ton of volatility from this stock. The stock has gone from 430 down to lows at 170, back up to 400, and then back down to 110. It did establish some decent support near and around this 124 mark. You guys can see it just hits it several times, and we just have that tendency of getting a good amount of buying pressure there. Recently, the stock has been on an absolute beautiful upward trend, and this is just because of the overall AI sector. We've seen companies like NVIDIA, we've seen companies that are absolutely moving. NVIDIA stock is already up 70% this year. 2023, the stock was up over 200%. Now, all those companies that are in that sector are kind of just following the path of NVIDIA, including Snowflake here. Now, as of today, you guys can see that this thing got crushed. The stock went from 230 all the way down to 183, which might not seem like a big move, but as we go to the minute chart, you guys can see just how rapid this sell-off was. In the matter of about 3 minutes, the stock sold off from 230 all the way to 176, which is a extreme amount of sell-off. So what happens? Why does companies sell off this much this quick? Well, with Snowflake, they announced an earnings. So this is when the company comes out and they give you all the fundamentals, all the good, all the bad about Snowflake here. Now, I use Moomoo for all of my charting and news, so check them out. You guys can get like 15 free stock for signing up with them. But I've been getting a lot of questions about what software I use. And all right, let's dive into this. So you guys can see why Snowflake stock is plummeting today. So you guys can see Snowflake published results for the fourth quarter of its fiscal year, or fiscal 2024, after the market closed today. Or yesterday. And as we scroll down here, you guys can see good surprises and bad surprises. So for Q4, which ended January 31st, the company posted non-GAAP, which adjusted earnings per share of about 35 cents on sales of 774 million. The average analyst estimate called for an earnings per share of 18 cents on sales of roughly 460 million. So it does look like they had a little bit more sales here, but let's continue to scroll down here. Because one of the things here that why we got in sell-off here is probably this growth deceleration. Management guidance was also troubling to investors for 2025 first quarter. Snowflake's forecast product revenue would be between 745 million to 750 million. If the business hits the midpoint of that range, it would deliver growth of 26.5% year over year. For comparison, let's continue to go down here. For comparison, the business grew its product revenue 33% year over year in quarter four and 38% in 2024. The data software specialist still expects to expand at a solid double-digit percent clip, but growth rate is slowing. So this is why we're getting so much sell-off. We've seen good revenues. We've seen good, like I said, we've seen good revenues here, good sales, but what we're getting nervous about is just the growth. When the company comes out and they say, hey, 2025 might not be the greatest year, this is going to cause investors to panic. Now, one of the things with investing is often any action in the market is often an overreaction. Looking at the chart, you guys can see on the technical side, you guys can see that right now could be a decent opportunity to hop in on this stock, near and around a kind of a decent price, right? It's right on that 200-day moving average line. We could see a move from, 183 to at least 196, if not trying to close this gap here. Anytime a stock gaps down, we do see tendencies of the stock trying to fill that gap. So we could see a decent a decent move here. Looking at this here, I think that's very, very important here. Let's scroll down. So we've still seen good revenues, right? The revenue is up 31%. The cash flow is up 58%. So, we're still seeing good information. This is just a company being nervous about 2025, expecting some sort of slowdown, which probably is expected. All stocks don't only go up, they go down. And a lot of people think that NVIDIA and the AI sector is on a nonstop roar with no sell-off in sight. And I hate to say that is not the case. I definitely think a pullback or a possible, correction is probably very due, and maybe a little, it's one of those things where it will happen. It's just a matter of when. And I think being prepared and seeing a company like this sell off 20% is kind of expected, especially given the market conditions we're in right now. But guys, that is it. That is everything going on with Snowflake. To answer that question of should you invest in it, it's a growth stock. It's going to be risky. It's going to be volatile. It's going to go up and down at rapid rates. But for me, as a long-term investor, I own shares of it. It's not much. It's under 1% of my portfolio. So if this thing does squeeze up to $1,000, I make some money. But if it goes to zero, I'm only out 1%. So in the grand scheme of things, it's not that big of a deal. But guys, we'll see you guys later. Hit that like button, subscribe, and we'll see you guys tomorrow in the next one. Take care.